Welcome to Casa Naturals, and I appreciate you so much for your support and your love. Okay, so I this is not the time that I go live. Um, However, I had a busy schedule, online meetings. So today we are going to talk about the truth about shea butter, what no one tells you. Okay, what no one tells you about shea butter. So I have some shea butter here. This is African shea butter. Let me just open the jar. So that is how it looks like. So this is the original one, okay? But of course, some people say there's actually imitations, okay? So this is African shea butter, okay? So shea butter actually is called the quick of moisture. Everyone swears it is the holy grail for natural, and glowing skin. But here is the truth no one tells you. So actually it's not okay for everyone. It's not okay for everyone. In some cases it can actually do more harm. Like this may be surprising, right? Because shea butter actually is all natural. Okay, this is all natural product. Okay, this is all natural, like without any added derivatives. It's just shea butter, and actually it's not whipped. Okay, this is all natural. So of course, you know what, tonight I'll show you why. Okay, tonight I'll show you why. So while I'm just waiting for you, my beautiful friends, like to join. Yes, we are talking about the truth about shea butter. Okay, what no one tells you. Okay, perhaps you have heard about shea butter, or maybe you have used shea butter before. Yes, today I want to tell you the truth about shea butter, what no one tells you about. Okay, so while I'm waiting for you, my beautiful friends, I just want oh, hi. Okay, Barbara, hi, hello, thank you so much. I'm glad to have you here. Just tell me where you are tuning in from. Just tell me where you're tuning in from. I'm so glad that you have joined us. You have joined Casa Naturals. Isa, hello, Isa. I'm glad, my friends, you have joined us. Yes, so if this is your first time on my channel, this is Casa Naturals. My name is Dorcas, and I speak about holistic skincare and hair care. Okay, holistic skincare and hair care. So tonight we are talking about the truth about shea butter that no one tells you about. Okay, so of course, you know what, my beautiful friends, like shea butter actually is a holy grail. Osani, hola, hola, Sani. Thank you so much, my beautiful friends. Like, I'm glad to have you here. I'm glad to have you here. So, my beautiful friends, you know what? Shea butter, of course, is natural, but it may not be good for anyone. Okay, it may not be good for anyone. For some, it may react. Okay, so I'm going to show you exactly why. Hello, my beautiful friends and handsome friends. I'm so glad that you have joined us this night. Okay, we are talking about shea butter and what no one tells you about shea butter. Okay, and I'm super excited to have you here. So of course we are going to uncover the myths. Okay, we are going to uncover the myths about shea butter, or probably maybe you have not heard about shea butter. Just comment in the chat section below. Okay, if you have not heard about shea butter, or maybe you have heard about shea butter, comment in the chat section below, my friends, and tell me where you are tuning in from. I'd love to know. Okay, yes, just say hi in the chat section. Okay, so I'm going to tell you the hidden truth and safer alternatives, and I'll also do a demo. Okay, I'm going to do a demo. Okay, application. So when I first started using shea butter, You know, when I just first started using shea butter, I was obsessed. Like everyone, you know, was talking about shea butter, my beautiful friends. Like I was obsessed. I was obsessed, my beautiful friends. So, you know, everyone actually was saying that shea butter is actually a liquid gold. Okay, so I started using it every day on my hair. Okay, I started using it daily on my hair and skin. Then I noticed something. So this is actually African shea butter. So it is actually sourced from Africa. Okay, especially Ghana and Nigeria. But nowadays you would actually find shea butter in any beauty supply store around everywhere. Like globally, you can source for shea butter globally. So, you know, I started, you know, using it every day in my hair, and something actually happened because, you know, naturally a shea butter is actually heavy in nature. Okay, let me just open my bottle. Like it's heavy in nature. Okay, so it's heavy in nature. And you know, my pores actually were clogging. Okay, my pores started clogging, and that's when I started researching. Okay, so don't forget, friends, if you have just joined us, we are talking about the truth about shea butter and what no one tells you about shea butter. Okay, so I have my African shea butter with me. So you know what, I started researching what was really happening. Okay, so be honest, my beautiful friends, be honest in the chat section. Tell me if you have used shea butter, or probably maybe this is your first time hearing about shea butter. Okay, or maybe you had used a DIY whipped shea butter. I would love to hear from you, my beautiful friends. Okay, and just type yes if you have used shea butter before. Oh, I appreciate you so much for giving this video a big thumbs up. So my beautiful friends, if this is your first time on my channel, subscribe. Okay, subscribe to my channel, my beautiful friends, and give this video a big thumbs up, because this means a lot, my beautiful friends, because YouTube will recommend our video to people, to more people, so that we can reach more people. Okay, so have you ever used shea butter, my beautiful friends? Have you ever used shea butter? I'd love to hear from you. So let's quickly talk about the myths. Okay, let's talk about the myths about shea butter. So of course, you know what, shea butter, some people say it can break you down. However, we are going to talk about 4 common myths about shea butter. The first myth is that some people say that shea butter actually works for all skin types. Okay, some people say that shea butter works for all skin types. The truth is that yes, it's great for dry skin. Like if you have dry skin, shea butter is nice, because you know what, it doesn't contain any synthetic products. It's very natural. Okay, and if you are somebody who is vegetarian, this is a good product if you have dry skin. Okay, but it's not good for people who have oily skin. Okay, who have oily skin, or if you have acne prone skin, it may not be good for you. Shea butter may not be good for you if you have acne prone skin. Okay, so for example, you know, shea butter actually is occlusive. It's occlusive, meaning that it doesn't hydrate. Okay, it doesn't hydrate, so it just seals in the moisture. Okay, it just seals in the moisture. For instance, like in my hair, I would apply a leave-in conditioner or maybe some water, and then apply my shea butter to seal in the moisture. Okay, so shea butter is not moisture, however it seals in the moisture. Or for the skin, for the body, you can actually use it after bathing. When you still have moisture on your body, then you can apply shea butter to seal in the moisture. So myth number two, people say that shea butter actually hydrates instantly. Some people say that it hydrates instantly. However, the truth is that it doesn't add moisture. Okay, it doesn't add moisture, because it's more like on an oil side. So oils actually don't moisturize our skin. Okay, so it's what already, like it's what already there, especially on the face. Okay, on the face. So my beautiful friends, if you have just joined us, we are talking about the truth about shea butter, what no one tells you about shea butter. So if you have tried shea butter before, you have used shea butter before, or if you have heard about shea butter, or if you have not heard about shea butter, comment in the chat section below and tell me where you are tuning in from. And I'm glad to have you, my beautiful friends. Okay, I'm glad to have you, my beautiful friends. Yes, so myth number 3. Myth number 3, some people say that shea butter actually lasts forever. They say shea butter lasts forever. So the truth is that raw shea butter is not stable. Okay. However, when if it's whipped or mixed like with other things, like if you add water, like it can spoil faster. It can spoil faster, especially without preservatives. So if you want to add probably maybe aloe vera, because aloe vera is so moisturizing, it has antimicrobial properties. Okay, so if you want to add aloe vera, in fact, I've done a live video on how you can whip shea butter, like aloe shea butter cream for the skin. So I'd added some aloe vera, so I had to add a preservative. So if you don't add a preservative, if you have added aloe vera, then it's going to spoil quickly. Okay, without a preservative. So of course, which of these myths that we have just talked about surprised you? So drop the number in the chat section, because we have talked about 4 myths about shea butter. So subscribe, my beautiful friends, to Casa Naturals and give this video a big thumbs up. So let me just do a demo. Okay, let me just do a demo. So of course, shea butter actually has a nutty kind of smell, earthy kind of smell. Some people may find it overpowering, but it is not overpowering. It's so natural, my beautiful friends. So I'll just scoop a little bit. Okay, so because a little goes a long way, then you apply it on the skin. Like it makes the skin flawless, my beautiful friends, without any toxic ingredients. Okay, shea butter is all natural. And if you are actually, a vegetarian, this is a natural alternative. Okay, this is a natural alternative. So you just rub it in the skin, on the skin, like so. And of course, you know what, the texture actually is very thick. Usually in summer, during summer, it may melt a little bit, but in winter it is very solid. However, like it can't come out even when it's summer. Okay, even when it's summer. So my beautiful friends, like the texture is thick and it's actually occlusive. So let me quickly talk about the alternatives, like excuse me, let me quickly talk about the alternatives. I wanted you to tell me, like, if you have used shea butter before, or probably this is your first time hearing about shea butter. Okay, so shea butter actually is originally from Africa, to be specific, from Ghana and Nigeria. However, you can source for a shea butter worldwide. In beauty supply stores, you can find shea butter. Okay, so make sure that you go for raw shea butter, like unrefined. You'd actually find different types of shea butter. There's shea butter which is actually yellow. For some brands, like it's kind of creamy white. Okay, but this is the original one. Okay, this is how the original one looks like. It's some kind of a creamy yellow color and texture, as you can see. Okay, so subscribe to Casa Naturals, my beautiful friends, and I'm glad to have you here. I'm glad to have you here. God bless you, my beautiful friends. Okay, so let's talk about the alternatives. So for dry skin, So if you are somebody who has dry skin, you can actually just mix shea butter with some glycerin and you can whip it, okay? You can whip it using a handheld blender, okay? Or any tool that can help you to whip it, so you can whip it. It is good for dry skin. So if you have oily skin, you can look into mango butter, okay? Mango butter or jojoba oil. I've never tried mango butter. It's something that I'm looking into. One day I'm going to purchase mango butter. Okay. So for hair, my beautiful friends, like shea butter, you can actually mix it with some lighter oils. Okay. For hair, you can mix it with some lighter oils like grapeseed oil. Okay. Sunflower oil. Okay. You can even add sweet almond oil. So you can blend shea butter with these lighter oils that I'm talking about, so that it is not heavy. Okay. So who here has ever whipped some shea butter? Who here has ever whipped some shea butter? I'd love to hear from you, my beautiful friends. Or probably maybe this is the very first time you're hearing about shea butter. Comment in the chat section below. Or if you have used shea butter before, comment in the chat section below, my beautiful friends. Okay. So of course, during summer it can melt, but it cannot be absolutely in liquid form. Okay. And sometimes it can be grainy. Okay. I remember, I used to purchase shea butter in bulk. Okay, such that it will last for 6 months, almost a year. I would source it from a friend from Ghana. Yes. So my beautiful friends, here is the thing, shea butter, and how you can use it actually right. Sometimes shea butter might not work for you because you are using it in a wrong way. Okay, probably you are using it in a wrong way. So like we have mentioned, you have to use it the way it is. Okay, or you can whip it with some lighter oils that we talked about, like grapeseed oil, sweet almond oil. Okay, so you can whip it, my beautiful friends. So of course, you know what, the good part about shea butter, it supports African women cooperatives, because they're the ones like who make shea butter. So shea is actually from nuts, gotten from nuts. So when you purchase, you're supporting African women cooperatives, which is a good thing, which is a noble thing to do, my beautiful friends. So it's natural and it's actually sustainable. Okay, so it doesn't need a preservative. It's sustainable because shea butter can stay for a year without going bad. Okay, without any spoilage. Okay, but the problem is where often this, like, some people are not informed about how to use it. That misconception actually leads to wasted money, spoiled products, and disappointments. Okay, because somebody might not know how to use shea butter. Okay, someone, let me just give you a story. Someone kept using shea butter and they started breaking out. They started breaking out from using shea butter, a face cream. So of course shea butter may not work for everyone. Okay, so of course it wasn't just their fault that they started breaking out. They were just following the hype. Okay, so you need to know how to use shea butter, my beautiful friends. So don't follow the hype. Okay, so have you ever felt disappointed after or when a hype product didn't work for you? How did you feel? There are certain hype products, maybe you had tried them and it never worked for you and you felt disappointed. What kind of products? I remember using a popular brand, which is actually Shea Moisture. So I'd purchased the shea butter shampoo, because everyone was talking about it, how it worked. But to my surprise, that product never worked for me. Like when I use that shampoo, the oil, like if I was using some oils on my hair, like my hair will not be cleansed, like it was so oily. So that's how I stopped using that product. However, in the same line, Shea Moisture, there's the one with Jamaican black castor oil shampoo with apple cider vinegar. That one actually worked well for me. So some products may be high, okay? So when you use them, actually, they may not work for you and you feel disappointed. So if you had that experience, I would love you to share in the comment section below, my beautiful friends. And subscribe to Casa Naturals, my beautiful friends. Like, I'm glad to have you here. So if you have just joined us, we are talking about the truth about shea butter, what no one tells you about. Okay, what no one tells you about shea butter. So if you have used shea butter before, I want you to type in the chat section below. Okay, I would want you to tell me in the chat section below if you have tried shea butter before. Okay, so I've been using shea butter, friends, for years, for more than 6 years. Okay, so I use shea butter for my lips. It's good for the lips because I've tried different kinds of lip balms and I find that they don't do justice for my lips. So I use shea butter on my lips. I use shea butter on my body. And shea butter is also good for diaper rashes. If you have a baby and they actually develop diaper rashes, like you can just apply some shea butter. And I'm telling you, friends, it works wonders. And it's also good for the scalp. Okay, however, it's on an heavier side. So in most cases, SK, hi SK, I appreciate you so much, my beautiful friends, for coming to watch Casa Naturals live. So if this is your first time on my channel, I talk about holistic skincare and hair care. And today we're talking about shea butter, what no one tells you about shea butter. So I want you, my beautiful friends, to comment in the chat section below if you have used shea butter before, or probably this is the first time that you're hearing about shea butter. Okay, so have you ever felt disappointed after buying a hyped product? Okay, I would love to hear from you, my beautiful friends. I'd love to hear from you, my beautiful friends, if you have used shea butter before. Okay, so if you have any questions on skincare and hair care, you are free. You are free to ask me, my beautiful friends, and I'll definitely answer you live. And I'm glad to have you here. Okay, so let me just do a quick recap. Okay, to our friends who have just joined us, I'm glad to have you, my beautiful friends. So give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to Casa Naturals, my beautiful friends. Support me by subscribing to Casa Naturals. So a quick recap, let me do a quick recap because it's getting late. Okay, a quick recap. So shea butter actually is amazing. Okay, shea butter is amazing. However, it's not universal. It's not universal because shea butter can work for me. However, it may not work for another person. Okay, so shea butter actually doesn't add moisture. It only seals in the moisture. Okay, so for hair, you can actually use shea butter like after washing your hair and applying your leave-in conditioner. For men, from my research, men actually don't do a lot of steps when it comes to hair routine and skincare routine. So for men, like when you just shampoo your hair, and if you probably use a conditioner after rinsing out, you can actually seal in the moisture just using some shea butter. Okay, and actually a little goes a long way. A little goes a long way. And for some friends, like shea butter can clog your pores. Yes, so I was saying that Musonda Collins, hi Musonda, thank you so much for joining our live, and I appreciate you so much, my beautiful friends, for joining. So we are talking about shea butter and the truth about shea butter. So I was saying that for some people, shea butter actually can react. Okay, Frederick Chiwe. Hi, Frederick. I appreciate you so much, my friends, for joining our live. So if this is your first time, you can subscribe to our channel. Okay. So I was saying that shea butter can also clog your pores. So shea butter may not work for everyone. Okay, may not work for everyone. Or you can actually blend it. You can blend it with other oils like sweet almond oil. You can also blend it with lighter oils so that it's not heavy. So if you want like to blend it with aloe vera, then you need to add a preservative, because if you don't do so, then you can spoil. Okay, it can become useless. Yes. So of course, if you have tried shea butter before, you can comment in the chat section below. I'd love to hear from you, my beautiful friends. Okay, so let me just give you a story about shea butter. I always share this story whenever I talk about shea butter. There was a time when I was in uni, and I would carry my shea butter. So one of my roommates, my friend Brenda, would use my shea butter, and she started applying it on the face, because she observed that my skin was looking flawless. So she tried it. So within 3 days, friends, like, her skin changed. It was looking nice, and some people were actually complimenting her skin, asking what she was using. So like, you don't need toxic ingredients for your skin. Okay, you can use alternatives natural alternatives. So shea butter actually is one of the best moisturizer which you can use. Of course, we are talked about the myths. Okay, because shea butter actually is occlusive. It will just seal in the moisture. Okay, it's not a moisturizer, but it's going to seal in the moisture. Like, you need to use it after bathing. Okay, after bathing you apply it, because you will still have some moisture. Okay, so you can even use shea butter for sores, for scalp sores. I remember I had some scalp sores after tight braids. Okay, so I would apply shea butter. I even did a video on that. I would apply shea butter on my scalp, on my sores, and to my surprise, my beautiful friends, like, those sores were literally gone within 3 days. So shea butter actually works wonders. Okay, however, I don't use it on my face. Okay, because you can actually break out. However, some people, they use shea butter on the face and it works very well for them. Okay, so I always say that natural doesn't mean that it will always work for you. For some people, shea butter may not work for them, and for some, shea butter may work very well for them. Okay, so subscribe to Casa Naturals, my beautiful friends. But of course, this is not the right time when I go live, but due to some circumstances beyond my control, I had an online meeting. So it's one of the reasons why I had to do a live stream this late. Okay, so comment in the chat section below, my beautiful friends, if you have tried shea butter before. Okay, so ask me questions. Okay, ask me questions on skincare and hair care. So whenever you are purchasing shea butter, make sure that you go for raw and refined shea butter, because there is unrefined shea butter which actually doesn't have that nutty smell that you may actually smell from the natural shea butter. And so whenever you purchase shea butter, you are supporting African women cooperatives, which is a noble thing to do. Okay, which is a noble thing to do. So if you have tried shea butter before, I'd love to hear from you, my beautiful friends. I'd love to hear from you, my beautiful friends. if you have tried shea butter, or probably maybe you have used other butters before, or probably you have used mango butter, okay, or cucumber butter, because the Lord has blessed us with different kinds of butters, okay. So comment in the chat section below, my beautiful friends, and don't forget, friends, subscribe to Casa Naturals. Subscribe, my beautiful friends. Or you can actually comment, probably maybe there's a video you would want us to look at, or a topic. You can tell me, my beautiful friends, okay? You can tell me, my beautiful friends, okay? So if you're somebody who has oily skin, okay, if you have oily skin, of course, you know, shea butter is great for dry skin. If you have dry skin, it's good, and you can actually blend it with some glycerin, okay. You can blend it with some glycerin. So my beautiful friends, if you have just joined us, we are talking about the truth about shea butter, okay, the truth about shea butter, and what no one tells you about, what no one tells you about. So we are almost come to the end of our life. So if you have just joined us, we looked at 4 myths, okay. The first one was like shea butter. Some people think that shea butter actually lasts forever, okay, but the truth is that shea butter may not be suitable, especially if you whip it, or if you mixed it with some other ingredients, okay. It may spoil faster. It can spoil faster, especially if you add aloe vera without preserving your shea butter. So the moment you add water, a water ingredient, then you have to preserve your butters, okay. You have to preserve your butters, okay, my beautiful friends. So subscribe to Casa Naturals, my beautiful friends. You know, friends, like when I just started doing my natural journey, I was so obsessed with shea butter. I would purchase shea butter in bulk, and I would apply shea butter on my hair every day, and my hair actually became so heavy. However, I noticed some growth because my hair started flourishing, my beautiful friends. So I've been using shea butter for years, almost 10 years now. And I also use it on my body. You know, I actually did a demo on application. Like, it's very simple, like, to do an application, and it soaks in very well. And it actually doesn't leave a greasy feeling, okay, a greasy feeling, unless if you add some oils. So that's the reason why I advise that you use some lighter oils like sweet almond oil, okay, or argan oil, or sunflower oil, okay. So as you can see, it has soaked in very well, okay. So friends, don't forget to subscribe to Casa Naturals, okay. Don't forget to subscribe to Casa Naturals. So friends, like, I go live every day. I go live every day at 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Okay. Kelly Tao, since when are you a doctor? Oh, I'm not actually a doctor. I'm not a doctor. Okay. But I have interest in skincare, and I've done some research, and I've actually done some courses, okay, some courses in science formulation, okay. Yes, Kelly Tao, I appreciate your comment. Yes, this is not a prescription. However, you can consult with your doctor, okay. You can consult with your doctor, probably maybe before using shea butter. But of course, shea butter is very natural. It doesn't contain any synthetic products, okay. That's the goodness of it. And when you purchase shea butter, you are actually supporting okay. Kelly Tao is saying okay. Thank you so much, Kelly. I appreciate you so much for that beautiful comment. So my beautiful friends, subscribe to Casa Naturals if you haven't. So on Casa Naturals, I talk about holistic skincare and hair care. Like, we don't use toxic ingredients on Casa Naturals. And I always advise that whenever you are purchasing a product, be mindful of checking the ingredient labels. Okay. So I always teach my community on how to read the ingredient labels like a pro. So I intend to do a part 3 on how you can read your ingredient labels like a pro. So I appreciate you so much, my beautiful friends, for sparing your precious time to come and watch our live. God bless you, and kindly subscribe if you haven't, okay, and give this video a big thumbs up. So God bless you. See you in our next video. Bye bye.